Let me ask you something important. Are you really sure your carry-on bag won't cause problems at the airport this year? Because in 2025, airline rules have changed a lot. And one small mistake, like a wrong-sized suitcase, an overpowered charger, or even a bottle of lotion, can get your bag flagged, your items taken, or worse, make you miss your flight. I've been there, and trust me, it's not fun. That's why in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 11 most important carry-on rules you must know this year. Some of these are new, others have quietly changed, and a few are still catching people by surprise. Stick with me until the end, because I'll also share my personal checklist, the one I now use before every single flight. It's helped me avoid surprise fees and airport drama, and I promise it'll do the same for you. Let's get into it. 11. Carry-on size rules are tighter than ever. In 2025, carry-on size rules have become more strict than ever before, especially when flying with budget airlines in Europe like Ryanair, Wizz Air, and EasyJet. These airlines now allow only very small personal bags for free, often no bigger than a large purse or small backpack. That's a big problem for people who are used to traveling with small roller bags or standard cabin suitcases. The allowed size can be as small as 40 by 20 by 25 centimeters, which is barely enough for a laptop and a sweater. Last summer, I made the mistake of using my regular carry-on bag, the same one I'd used for years, while flying from Madrid with Ryanair. At the gate, they flagged my bag as too big, and I had to pay 70 euros on the spot, which was actually more than the cost of my flight ticket. Since then, I've been much more careful. Now, I always visit the airline's website after booking and check their current baggage rules. I also take a screenshot of their policy, just in case there's an issue at the airport. This one small step has saved me a lot of stress and money. 10. Power banks can get you stopped or fined. In 2025, power banks have become a big deal at airport security. Airlines and aviation authorities are taking battery safety more seriously than ever before. If your power bank is too powerful, it could be banned entirely. Here's how it works. If your power bank is over 160 watt-hours, that's about 32,000 milliamp hours, it's not allowed on any flight, not in your carry-on, and definitely not in your checked luggage. These larger batteries are considered a fire risk, and airlines won't take any chances. If your power bank falls between 100 and 160 watt-hours, you're only allowed to carry 2 of them, and you must get airline approval in advance. That means calling or emailing them at least 48 hours before your flight. The safest option is to carry power banks under 100 watt-hours, usually around 20,000 millihours or less, and even then, they must be in your carry-on only, never in your checked bag. After I saw a battery start to overheat at a gate last year, I started writing the watt-hour rating directly on my power banks with a marker. Security staff appreciate it, and it saves time at checkpoints. A small step like this can save you from delays, or worse. 9. Smart luggage might be rejected at check-in. Smart luggage was once seen as the future of travel, with built-in chargers, GPS tracking, and cool tech features. But in 2025, if your smart suitcase has a non-removable battery, it might not even make it past check-in. Many airlines around the world have banned smart luggage, unless the battery can be easily removed right then and there. The reason? Lithium batteries can catch fire, and when they're built into a suitcase, it's almost impossible to quickly remove them if there's a problem. I learned this lesson the hard way. In early 2024, I was flying out of Chicago O'Hare, excited for my trip to Tokyo. I had my smart suitcase, a first-gen model with a built-in non-removable battery. At the check-in counter, the agent told me it couldn't fly. I tried to argue, but it was no use. I ended up having to buy a brand new suitcase at the airport shop, and it cost me nearly $200. That was an expensive mistake I'll never forget. Now, I either use a regular suitcase or choose a smart bag that clearly says removable battery on the label. Don't wait until you're at the airport to find out. Check before you pack. 8. Liquid rules are still confusing in 2025. Many travelers think the liquid rules are gone, but in 2025, things are more confusing than ever. Some airports, like Heathrow in London, started allowing full-size liquids last year because of new CT scanners. But in March 2025, 6 UK airports reversed that decision due to technical issues with those scanners. These airports, London City, Aberdeen, Newcastle, Leeds Bradford, Southend, and Teesside, are now back to the old 311 rule. That means you can only carry liquids in containers of 100 milliliters, 3.4 ounces, or less, all stored in one clear, resealable bag, usually around 1 quart in size. If you forget and pack full-size toiletries, they could get thrown out at security. I experienced this myself. I flew out of Heathrow and was told I could keep my full-size lotion. But on the return flight from Newcastle, that same bottle almost got confiscated. Now, I just don't take the risk. I carry a small set of travel-sized bottles in my carry-on, no matter which airport I'm flying from. It saves time, stress, and the cost of replacing items at airport shops. Until rules are consistent worldwide, always prepare for the stricter version. 7. Air Canada's economy rules changed and caught me off guard. In early 2025, Air Canada made big changes to their basic economy tickets, and many travelers, including me, found out the hard way. If you buy a basic economy ticket now, you're only allowed one small personal item for free. That means something like a laptop bag, purse, or a tiny backpack. If you show up with a regular carry-on suitcase, you'll be charged $35 or more just to bring it on board. And it doesn't stop there. Starting in January 2025, Air Canada also removed free seat selection from basic economy. If you want to choose your seat, you'll need to pay between $25 and $45, depending on the route. If you don't, your seat will be randomly assigned during check-in. I saw several people surprised by these changes at the gate. Some were scrambling to pay the fees on their phones at the last minute. My advice? If you're booking Air Canada, budget for these extras ahead of time or consider upgrading to standard economy. Sometimes, the cost difference is smaller than the fees you'd pay with basic, and it saves you a lot of stress at the airport. 6. Some surprising items are banned in 2025. You probably already know that weapons and sharp objects are banned, but in 2025, some everyday items are now getting flagged, and it might surprise you. For example, mercury thermometers are completely banned. Even though they seem harmless, if they break, they create a toxic spill, which becomes a serious airport emergency. Another surprise? Tent stakes and poles. Last summer, I flew to Montana for a camping trip. I had packed my tent poles in my carry-on, not thinking much of it. Security flagged them as potential weapons and made me check the bag. That meant going back to the check-in counter and paying a $35 fee I didn't expect. Also banned, multi-tools that have even the tiniest blade, toy weapons like plastic swords or lightsabers, and protein powders over 12 ounces. I've seen kids cry at security when their foam swords were taken away. The sad part? It's avoidable. If you're unsure whether something is allowed, it's always better to put it in your checked bag or leave it at home. It's not worth the emotional or financial cost of losing it at the gate. 5. These banned items still catch travelers off guard. Even though some rules haven't changed in years, many travelers still forget them. In 2025, security is just as strict, maybe even more, when it comes to certain items. Sharp tools and heavy objects are never allowed in carry-on luggage. That includes knives, scissors with blades longer than 4 inches, hammers, drills, and even some kitchen gadgets. Also banned are self-defense items like pepper spray, stun guns, and heavy metal flashlights. Even if they're legal in your area, they're not allowed in the cabin of a plane. And don't even think about bringing fireworks, spray paint, or lighter fluid. Those are completely banned, even in checked luggage. I once saw someone try to bring a small souvenir bat from a baseball game in New York. It was only about 12 inches long, but security still confiscated it because it could be used as a weapon. If something looks heavy or dangerous, security will stop you. The general rule is simple. If it could hurt someone, it doesn't belong in your carry-on. And even if an item feels harmless, always check before packing. It could save you time, money, and a major headache at the airport. 4. Powdered items will get you delayed at security. In 2025, powdered substances are being watched more closely at airport security, especially in the US and many international airports. If you're carrying powders over 12 ounces, 350 milliliters in your carry-on, get ready for extra screening. That includes things most people wouldn't even think twice about, like protein powder, baby powder, baking ingredients, or even bath salts. Last October, I was flying to Miami for a fitness event and packed my protein powder in a Ziploc bag. Security pulled my bag aside and it caused a 20-minute delay while they tested the contents. Since then, I've learned it's best to keep any powder in its original sealed packaging, clearly labeled, and under the 12 ounces limit. If you really need more than that, put it in your checked luggage or simply buy it at your destination. Remember, if something looks suspicious on the scanner, it'll slow you down and possibly make you miss your flight. So, if you're traveling with powders of any kind, keep the amount small, sealed, and labeled. It's one of those hidden travel rules that most people miss until it's too late. 3. Why you still can't bring bottled water through security. People often complain about not being allowed to bring a regular bottle of water through airport security, and many wonder why this rule hasn't changed. The reason goes back to August 2006, when British police stopped a major terrorist plot at Heathrow Airport. The attackers planned to smuggle liquid explosives in soft drink bottles onto US and Canada-bound flights. After that, liquids were completely banned for a while. Eventually, authorities realized an all-out liquid ban wasn't practical. That's when the 311 rule was created. All liquids must be in containers no larger than 100 milliliters, all placed in one quart-sized, clear, resealable bag, with one bag per passenger. It became the worldwide standard, and for most places, it still is. I remember flying through Newark the day after that plot was uncovered. The lines were insane, and people were having every single drink, lotion, and toothpaste taken from their bags. It was chaos, but necessary. Even in 2025, the reason we can't bring full-size drinks through security isn't just a silly rule. It's about real safety. The best move? Bring an empty bottle and fill it up after security. That way, you stay safe and hydrated. 2. Screenshot your airline's rules before you fly. This might be the simplest travel tip on the list, but it has saved me more than once. Every airline has its own baggage rules, and they change often, especially in 2025. After you book your flight, go to the airline's website and look at their carry-on and personal item policies. Then take a screenshot and save it to your phone. Why? Because sometimes gate agents or staff may claim your bag is too big or not allowed, even if it was fine when you booked. That happened to me in Paris. The airline tried to charge me for an oversized personal item, but I pulled out the screenshot showing the size rules when I booked. And guess what? They let it through without charging me. This trick works especially well with budget airlines that often change policies or try to upsell at the gate. Having proof in your hand, even if it's just a photo, gives you a strong case. It's a small move that can save you money, arguments, and time. 1. My personal carry-on checklist that saves me every trip. After years of flying and making almost every mistake possible, I've created a simple carry-on checklist that I now use before every trip. It takes less than 2 minutes to go through, but it saved me from surprise fees, delays, and even security confiscations. Here it is. Double-check the size limits for your airline's carry-on and personal item. Label your power banks with their watt-hour rating. Make sure your smart luggage battery is removable. Keep liquids under 100 milliliters in a clear, resealable bag. Keep powders under 12 ounces and in factory packaging if possible. Avoid all banned items, even toys that look like weapons. Take a screenshot of your airline's baggage rules. Pack with security in mind. Put electronics and liquids where they're easy to reach. I've printed this list, laminated it, and now keep it in the front pocket of my suitcase. It's that helpful. When you're tired, rushing, or stressed, having this checklist means you don't have to think twice. You just go through it, and you're good to go. All right, smart flyers, I hope this video helps you avoid the same mistakes I made. If you learned something new, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a smart travel tip. Have you ever had something taken away at security that surprised you? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared, and as always, fly smart.